Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Mighty Misfit Menagerie, or... Cast. Tonight we are doing our second episode of the evening, episode 4 of The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. And I've put Helene in this position twice, and I never remember until it's about to start. But do you happen to have a recap of what happened a half hour ago? I'm so sorry.
I can try. Took my notes. Here we go. Okay. So we flash back a couple of days. We open on Jeltra. She's a lovely little wood elf living lonely life in the woods after her mother passed away. She went to the Witchlight Carnival many years ago with Granny, who was maybe her grandmother, but more like probably someone else that's involved with her mother's life, who her mother called Granny. So she went there many years ago, and she always, her granny always wanted her to return. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay. You're good. So then one day she comes across a mysterious envelope from E.T. She doesn't know who that is yet, but they've left her a ticket to the Witchlight Carnival. So she's like, yeah, I'm going. It was very emotional. So exactly she heads on in and gets to the carnival. Nicholas Midnight's like, you go right ahead, darling. And she gets in. So she's scoping it out. She sees a group of weirdos running around doing weird stuff. But she's like, okay, I gotta steer clear of them. And then she joins the custard fairy cake eating contest, wins an invisibility potion, the fucking best prize yet, thanks, Coulter. So
it's in the campaign. He got a potion of advantage. That's kind of cool.
That is.
No, you got that.
What? You would have got it because if you won the thing.
You won the snail race.
Anyway, we see that Coulter already has a new favorite, so fine. We'll all.
Damn. That was fast.
It was real fast. Bewitching. So then then the big top extravaganza is about to start. So everyone starts making their way. Cody had knocked on Mr.s White, Witch, and Light, and after having heard them kind of conversing, but they're like, yeah, we'll talk to you later. creepy laughter.
No, I said I might get killed tonight, and then he creepily laughed.
So then we all make our way to the big top. We get excellent front row seats, and who's sitting there? Jeltra. So we make immediate friends, and we watch the show. The monarch has been chosen, but is not going to be revealed until later. Great. So then Kettlestream is like, I am on a tight schedule. We don't know why, but she is. So she's like, she heads into this curtained area. So we follow. She's throwing things around. We're like, hey, maybe don't do that. That's not your stuff. So we mess around with that. She doesn't find this portal. So we're like, okay, maybe we'll check out the Lost Things place because who knows? It could be there. So we go there. We meet Durla, the Displacer Beast that runs that area, and who gets very possessive over a small mirrored sphere. And is like, yeah, well, I would kill people for this because this was my son's, Star, who has gone missing about a week ago. And we're like, wait a minute, another missing person? This is really weird. So we kind of check that wagon out. There's not really anything there. So we're like, okay, well, the carousel, because Star went missing by the carousel, so now we're going to the carousel. So we go there. We kind of talk to Diana, who runs the carousel. She admits that she made a bad deal with someone, and that's why she is now a centaur. And she doesn't know really anything about people going missing, but she thinks that we should definitely check out this carousel. So we get on the carousel. There's a little puzzle where we have to finish common sayings, which you think the dumbos that we would not have figured those out, but we got it. We're good. So we get that, and then that animates all the unicorns. They're like a bunch of jabberjays after we do that, and they're all talking in weird unison. And so they tell us that people are not going missing into the carousel. They don't know where the crossing is, but they do know that the pig-faced moon people and Toadman are hands of these hags that are in the Feywild. And guess what? The hags have all the missing things, including one of them, which has all the missing beings. Not to mention all the other things that they've stolen from people, like artistic talent and writing ability and fashion sense.
I still have that.
We seem to have discovered that one of the hags that was involved in our past misfortune is in fact one of these hags that's in the Feywild. Okay. So then we get all that good info, and we're like, okay, so now we need to go talk to Mrs. Witch and Light again, because, I mean, everything keeps going back to them. And who is waiting for us as we get off the carousel? Mr. Light. And he gives us a little rhyme and beckons us to follow him.
We should just call them the Misters.
Messrs. White. Misters. Yeah, because I'm just going to keep saying white and light. That's not right, though.
Middle right.
A bright white light that isn't right. As Mr. Witch is not present, but Mr. Light marches you through a very wayward path back to the staff area, his wand coming up and down as he kind of marches to the tune of the calliope, sparks flying each time. Occasionally they land and turn into little packages full of candy or into butterflies as they've hit through the air, and children are laughing all about and kind of following your trail as you make your way through, and he seems to be thoroughly enjoying the joy that all of you have brought to the carnival. As you come to the staff area, he waves the scepter and the thorns ungrow themselves to let you through. And as you move in, grow back to block the staff area once more, returning to that center wagon that Cody so recently left. He opens the door for all of you. Please come in. It is a delight to meet our new friends and to thank our humble employees.
Mr. Light, I could never enter your personal quarters.
No, be my guest. For the uninitiated, I am Mr. Light, and this is my associate, Mr. Witch. He gestures to a stocky elf lounging on a bunk. Mr. Witch nods to you and doffs his top hat. You see, my scepter here, and forgive me if I forgo the rhymes, as we haven't much time before the
Please be comfortable.
Must continue. It is attuned to the way of things, to how things go, and it has told me that the current elevated and excited mood of the carnival this evening is thanks in great part to the 5 of you.
My swarm will turn into moths that will try and hide me.
And with that in mind, we wanted to extend our personal thanks and to let each of you know. And Mr. Witch, without saying anything, just nods behind, that it never went unnoticed.
Thank you for noticing. Sirs, if I may, with all due respect, I
Please.
feel very grateful that we've had this night to enjoy this wonderful carnival that you guys have put up together.
We need to give you 3 nights off more often.
However, there's been a few things that we've noticed, such as
that I'm sure you're aware of and are working on.
3 strange characters who seem to be running around causing a bit of trouble. I am concerned they are even taking people.
That blasted Kenku. And Mr. Light turns back to Mr. Witch with this, I told you so glare in his eyes, and Witch just rolls them. I assure you, Kettlestein is not to be worried about. I think she'll wear herself out soon enough.
Insight?
Sure.
Like, ooh, does he know? Like, I know he know. Like, I feel like he's jumping to the Kenku rather than to the actual people. So I guess, does he know? Do I feel like he knows that I was talking about not the Kenku, but he's trying to pretend it is the Kenku?
So, as with the natural 20,
Nice.
Mr. Light is just really worked up about this damn Kenku. So when you said problem, he immediately jumped there, honestly jumped there.
Okay.
Mr. Witch, as you're looking between the two of them, you saw like a flicker of knowledge that is unlikely what you're talking about. But
And
he's
so-
taken the lead.
Where's Celestine gone? Because wasn't she with us when we were at the carousel?
I don't believe she was.
Oh, okay.
She left you with the lost things.
Oh, okay.
We need to put a bell in.
Okay. No, okay, so then I explained, no, not the Kenku, and I described the three figures. Like Pig Face and Silver Moon and whatever.
Mr. Light's face drops for a moment, to be replaced with a grin. Well, I mean, there are always folks wearing masks at a carnival.
Yes.
I did
that's
see quite a
true.
few.
We are aware of the missing folks, and though it darkens our hearts to know that it is occurring, we have yet to find a cause. We,
Well,
in all seriousness, despite the mirth with which my associate likes to portray himself, it is something that is greatly troubling and that we are hoping to bring to a close.
What are you doing to help it?
Well, assuring that tickets are taken. They're all enchanted. We hope that they'll provide a certain amount of protection against whatever it is that seems to be troubling us over the last however long.
What do tickets have to do with missing people?
We...
Didn't you described your interaction with the moon face one, right?
My interaction with the moon face.
When you ran into her right after the minecart, she said, "Don't worry, you're safe. You have a ticket." You told us that, right?
Sure.
So I'll go, well, actually, that makes some sense. Didn't the spirit who accosted you say you're safe because you have a ticket?
Yeah, okay, but why?
Is that why we were given tickets even though we work here?
Well,
You have tickets?
I have one too.
Oh, well, you two, I understand. That's so funny.
No, I work here now.
yeah, she works for me temporarily,
Mr. Light.
so that she can go into employee-only spaces with us.
Ooh.
There's a moment both of their eyes narrow.
Where are our manners? This is Jeltra and this is Percy. We've made friends.
Which seems to spend a lot of time lingering on both of you as you're introduced. 8 years ago? 16.
8 years ago, what?
The last time you visited us.
Yes.
If I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
And I thought I carried a weight.
Okay, but again, what do the tickets matter? Why does that matter if people are disappearing?
And
Think of them as some sort of... it's an arrangement, an agreement. It ensures that everybody is accounted for and that no trouble needs to happen.
An agreement means that two parties know what's going on between them.
Oh,
So-
we both are aware.
You know that people are being taken without tickets and you're letting it happen?
well, that seems like you're jumping to conclusions. They never said anything about people being taken when they don't have tickets.
He just said tickets keep people safe.
Yeah, but the halfling had a ticket.
You all have lost something.
Yeah.
Nothing I was using.
That is what tickets are meant to preserve.
Us losing more stuff?
things being taken from any member of the carnival, guest or employee.
So you mean...
Do you know who took Teddy Perry?
Well, the unicorn told you.
That's
Who?
right.
Which Light gets a very Who? I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with...
That's right.
So I want to get back to this agreement. Who is this agreement with?
You should really,
Let them talk.
You should really watch your tone with the Misters, though.
What is this agreement?
There's this long, pregnant pause. We've had a shift over the last year. Light looks at Witch. What he means to say is that we were not the original proprietors of the carnival. It was come upon honestly, matter of the pact. But the level to which this is normal is something we're still discerning. Yes, there's this word, how do I say? Lovely Archfey. She's just been the best, and we've had a great dealing with her as a patron of the carnival, keeping things in line, intact, and whatnot. And she's been away for a while.
Sibylla.
Yes, you're aware. Lovely Archfey.
Okay, so you made a deal with Sibylla, and she gave you a carnival that people disappear in.
They pause and look at each other again. Well, she didn't give us the carnival so much as, drinks were flowing and conversations were had, and we got it from its original proprietor. She was just involved.
Okay, but you knew that people were disappearing
Well,
before?
they weren't disappearing before.
So,
I don't...
since Sibylla's been gone, people have gone missing.
Timeline fits.
Was it something that she did to help keep the
protecting?
patrons? Maybe.
When she was still in charge, we'll say, all that were taken were minor things. Gifts.
Things people don't need.
Trades for presents. Things that we assumed she had a purpose for. And in her absence, things have gotten more serious.
So maybe she's not the one that was taking things originally, but she kept them from getting too serious.
Misters, in the Hall of Mirrors, we saw a halfling try to be abducted by the girl in the pig mask. I know earlier you said several people wear masks, but this girl was inside of a mirror, and I am been led to believe that that is uncommon, and he had a ticket. He was just in the Hall of Mirrors without getting it punched. And no offense, sirs, if you know who might be taking these people, the carnival workers have a right to know.
Star was just abducted. When did they say?
Forces at work on the other side are entirely beyond our control. The wheel of time turns ever on. What's lost is lost. What's gone is
That
gone.
sounds suspiciously like you're saying it's not your problem that people are going missing in your carnival.
No one said it wasn't our problem. We are working on it. It's just something that... something that's beyond us.
Prisme.
Both of them snap to attention.
Several people have mentioned Prisme. We need to go there.
Where's the Fey crossing?
Well, it's a shame you'll miss the rest of the night.
Oh, jeez.
We really do have a lovely close to the whole thing, and my dear, you were going to get the crown. It was decided. Waves the scepter. But I'm not wrong. Something must be done, and if you are the someones to do it, then
According to Elephant Tiny Trunk.
I cannot promise safety on the other side, or that we have a way
Can't
back.
promise safety here either, so watch your tongue. I can't watch my tongue, it's in my mouth.
I'll watch it for you if that's what you prefer.
Go ahead.
Well, follow us. And Witch, for the first time, stands and makes his way to the door, opening it and stepping down from the wagon. Thaco, the clown, standing outside the door, blowing up long, thin balloons, waiting to make animals, though no mirth crosses his face in doing so. Hurley, twiddling his thumbs nervously as he sees all of you come out, and he runs up to Cody and whispers, "You didn't say anything about what I told you, right? I don't want him to know that I'm not doubting him. I'm sure they got it under control."
Brother, I'm on my way to get your brother. Hold everything down while I'm gone.
And Hurley kind of kneels and puts his hands on the ground and looks up at you. "It's gonna move, but I'll do my best."
Barely, please don't ruin this moment. I mean,
Standing up, he pulls you into a hug, the side of his pumpkin rubbing against your face as you lift it off the ground and set back down.
I just kind of hug his leg. Gently.
If anybody can do it, it's the three of you.
I will kiss his pumpkin mouth and say, "Good luck."
Mr. Witch and Mr. Light are standing by the thorned bushes that have now opened, kind of waiting and staring back, mildly impatient. You had the right idea when you begun, and the path you found has such been one. Back to the hall where it began, where you all will hopefully not see an end. Coming up with these things on the fly is sometimes challenging, especially when you're having feelings. And while Light moves forward, though, as soon as he's out of like the direct conversation, is back to waving the thing around, showing the joy that is to be here tonight.
The show must go on.
And Witch checks his watch as you all walk forward. Candlefoot is back at the entrance to the Hall of Mirrors and nods as all of you go through.
Can I, to Candlefoot, I'm gonna go and get your voice back. We're going to Prismere. We're gonna get all the lost things. Yes, in Prismere. What do you mean? An angel stole your voice?
Rock.
The Kenku stole your voice? Mr. Light, we have to attend to something before we go.
I'm terribly sorry, but this is mildly a matter of time sensitivity.
If you see the Kenku, can you get Candlefoot's voice back?
Oh, I thought he was just really committing.
Apparently not.
So, quite a shock.
Yes, you really know your employees, don't you?
Pats Kendall on the back. And as Witch and Light move through the Hall of Illusions, their reflections
Sorry, what?
the reflections in the mirror show them as gloomy Shatterkai children, with your own youthful reflections and a small unicorn following behind. Soon, they call you to a halt the mirrors now reflecting everyone's true age. The mirror that you recognize as the one that Sow Pig stood before speaking to the halfling.
I would just like to point out that it did end up being a mirror.
I have a question. So back to our earlier conversation, the tickets prevent things from being stolen. Did we need to get our tickets punched before we came in here?
Fair question, but I mean, you're on your way out.
I'm just trying.
I feel like if the owner of the carnival escorts you, that counts, right?
That is our punch.
One would hope.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Well,
saying.
plus we had punches left, so we could have punched them on the way in.
I don't want to get punched.
Mr. Witch kind of rolls his eyes mildly and reaches into a pocket, then brings out a puncher for each of your tickets.
Just saying.
Good call, Percy.
How am I feeling about being in the Hall of Illusions? Because I've not been in here. Like, you guys were all in here before, but Jeltra is not. So,
especially now, with it being unoccupied and seemingly closed, the space is dark. And this is possibly the first time you've seen the reflections that they've all seen. Aside from the very strong difference in the Shatterkai and seeing a unicorn instead of Solstice, it is yourself as a child. Instead of having your body warped or, made short or anything like that, it is actually yourself as a child.
You're the crazy hermit's daughter.
what?
Yeah, you would come to town sometimes.
Well, I would. I mean, Millmoon wasn't too far, but my mom wasn't crazy.
Oh, I know that. I mean, I was also the crazy kid who lived in the forest. I mean, it's all just titles. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Mr. Witch stands before that central mirror as he says, in a hushed tone, "Everything you seek and more lies beyond this mirror. If you mean to step through, then stand in front of the glass and repeat this rhyme. Hither, thither, here and there, wander, yonder, show me where."
Hither, thither, here and there.
Wait. How do we get back?
Mr. Witch would not send us without some plan.
I'm sure about that.
The mirror is a one-way portal.
No, you don't say.
I'm sure we'll figure it out. How hard can it be?
Once you arrive in Prismere, you must find your own way back.
Should be easy.
Well, hopefully we'll see that gnome lady. She seems to know how to travel.
This is the realm of Sbilna, and if she is still in any state of existence, she will help you.
We have to save her for... Do we have to save her?
You don't know that that's what I'm looking for necessarily.
Something's
You were
going
asking
on
about her,
with
though, so...
Yeah.
Well,
Out of
but we have
character,
to
you said
save
her
her for the carnival.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All things lost find their way across. So, whatever is missing, things, attributes, your fellows, they are likely there. Whenever you're ready.
Hither, thither, here and there.
Wander, yonder,
Wander, yonder,
show me where.
show me where.
Mist swirls in the mirror, blotting out your reflections as a draw of energy and emotion seems to be sucking forward.
I walk through. I have no reason not to trust Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
Can I go with you?
Can we hold hands?
Of course.
I'm gonna take a step back and kind of fix my waistcoat and fix the bow behind it and just kind of... I'm very scared.
I pat you on the shoulder. We're gonna be okay.
As the first group touches the mirror, their forms seem to shift through it, becoming elongated in reality until they're sucked within and disappear.
Oh, that looked unpleasant. Oh, that looked so unpleasant.
Do you want to hold your hand?
Please?
I'll grab your hand and then I'll kind of look at you. Like, John's right.
I'll grab your other hand, look at Mr.'s Witch and Mr. Light, and I was gonna get a crown, and then I'll walk through.
And as you exit, from behind you hear, "Well, we have a carnival to run," and the portal closes. You stand at the edge of a raised and broken causeway under a hazy twilight sky. The causeway, which is built from pale stones that glow faintly from within, towers over the surrounding landscape. But large sections of it have crumbled away. The parts that remain in place are separated by large gaps where portions have collapsed. A fog-shrouded swamp spreads out below you in all directions, and up from its murk wafts the smell of rotting plants. Also rising from the swamp is the music of nature, a discordant symphony of croaking frogs and singing birds. As you begin to gain a little bit of an understanding of your locale, it is difficult to see much of what is around you. The grounds are shrouded in fog, and to your left, facing along the road, is a wall of mist and fog that is impenetrable by sight. To the right, looking out over the lands that are less shrouded, you see the tips of a hill, the tips of what appear to be a slanted tower, and the dark shape of what appears to be an enormous tree trunk further along the road. Welcome to Hither.
Ooh. Wow. We're on top of that big bridge thing?
You are here. If it will let me click.
I'm going to zoom out real quick so we can see better.
So you are here on this raised highway.
Well, immediately getting down seems to be a problem.
Looking over the edge, it's difficult to quite gauge, but you are at least tens of feet up. It's difficult to tell with the fog below. But at the base of each of these pillars that seem to be holding up the roadway you're on are giant mushrooms that are kind of climbing their way up the sides of it, locked into the stone itself.
Would I know, did they look familiar? Do I know the kind of type of mushroom it might be?
Go
Just
ahead and
from
roll
being
a
in
nature check.
Why are my dice being like this? 12.
They would appear to be puffball mushrooms,
Okay.
except for the colors. Usually puffballs are either a white or light tan, and you know that they have a habit of exploding. Basically,
Yeah.
if you hit them, the cap rolls and spores fly everywhere. But they're not poisonous.
Okay.
And these ones are this myriad of these muted rainbow colors. You see these maroons, beiges, tans, foresty greens, mustard yellows, all sorts of different colors mixed in, all just off of saturation.
Okay. So these, do you guys see these?
Yeah. Not to interrupt your mushroom gazing. Nicaid, I'm surprised to see you, but happy.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like you have the least to gain from going to such a dangerous place. I'm happy you're here.
I appreciate that. Thank you. While this is scary, the thought of being alone was even scarier, especially now knowing what I know about the carnival.
And Jotra, I mean, we barely know you.
Yeah, it was a little weird just kind of going into another place with strangers. But, yeah, I don't like the idea of people being missing. I want to help.
I wonder if Witch and Light did this to get rid of us.
My love.
Well, it's going to be difficult returning, regardless
Yes,
of what happens.
They helped us do what we set out to do.
But I
But
thought
it's-
you were setting out to do that with the Kenku. I thought they were helping you.
Kenku can't be trusted. Mr. Witch and Mr. Light said so. And she stole someone's voice.
It's kind of a hodgepodge, isn't it?
Hopefully we'll see Ellie somewhere. Okay, we didn't say we had any of our stuff with us. Can we say that we at least have our packs? Okay.
You have your general inventory is on you.
And if we were to walk, along the causeway, it's crumbling though and looks
So sort of like you
unsafe.
see on the map here. So if you follow it long enough, it drops, and you can see through that shroud that it continues, but it is miles on.
Well, Persimmons, where to?
I don't know.
Oh,
I just knew I had to get here
so why are you here?
to find Sibylla.
Oh. Alright, well, we're finding Sibylla for Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, so that works just out fine.
So that way?
You were saying something about the mushrooms?
Yeah, they look like puffball mushrooms, but the color's wrong.
I have a feeling that not being in Faerun anymore, most things are going to be a bit off.
You said they're large.
They're massive. I mean,
Okay.
like they range from the smaller ones are like this big. The bigger ones are the size of a table, the size of a car.
Okay, so with my quarterstaff, I want to just very lightly, just maybe tap one
So
to
they
see if it
are
reacts
not
like.
within reach.
They're not?
You can see
Okay.
them climbing up those, kind of fitted to the sides of it, but they
Okay.
only go about halfway up the pillar
Got it.
before you
got
see
it.
them disappear into the
Okay.
fog.
Never mind.
And so below us, you said disappears in a fog, so we're really high up.
Go ahead and roll investigation or perception.
That's a 4 or 7. Sorry. Either way.
It's just impossible to tell. It could stretch on forever. The base is invisible, so.
So
Well-
the question is, do we climb down or do we walk along this causeway?
Well, one of us could very safely get to the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll fly down.
As you are preparing to do that, as the person with the highest passive perception, in the distant sky, you spot a great balloon made of patchwork material. It spins out of control as though punctured,
Oh,
causing the wicker basket that hangs from it to swing wildly.
that's not good.
As
And
you
I'll point it
watch-
out.
And you can all see this now happening as well. As you watch, the balloon plunges out of sight, disappearing into the fog roughly a mile away.
I mean, if that was her, that'd be really easy, wouldn't it?
Well, whoever's in that thing is dead.
Well, maybe it was the fog that did it, and I don't want to go into the fog if it's going to do that.
Why would fog?
Oh wait, no, it was
puncture the balloon?
punctured.
Yeah.
That's right.
How far away is it?
Mile.
A mile away
Sorry.
was what you saw there.
In which direction? Right, just if you could click on the map.
It was so if you're standing on the Queen's Causeway facing that gap, it's to your right.
Okay.
So.
Oh, where the balloon is on the map.
Oh, there's a fantastic.
It is a color that it matches.
Well, it reminds me of the mushrooms that are down here too. So.
All right, Percy, if you could figure out how far down.
Oh.
We gotta go help them.
Well.
We don't have time for corpse retrieval.
We don't know if they're a corpse, and I really don't want to see anyone else die. Anyone die.
We should really be focused on making friends here.
I'm gonna fly over the edge and down to the mushrooms.
All right. As you do so, it's clear that there are giant cranes beginning to raise from the mist.
Oh.
And they seem to ignore you as they fly past you, and you lower yourself. What are you doing? You're trying to touch the mushrooms, or?
I want to go down and look at the mushroom.
They are large and spherical, and you can see that they're attached to the side as if they've grown their way up little by little.
Do I think they're poisonous?
She told us they weren't.
I didn't know if
I don't think they did.
If you want to roll a nature check or something, you can as well.
I just didn't know if she would see from that high up because she said she thought they were something, but
Yeah.
12
For
nature.
if she's right about the being puffballs, you've eaten those before.
Can I gauge if they jumped off, would they get hurt?
Having flown down, the mushrooms start about 50 feet below where you started. From where you are right now, it's clear that the mist continues downward.
I'm gonna fly back up. So it's 50 feet down. I have some rope we could anchor, and then it wouldn't be such a jump down.
On your way back up, looking at the sides of the walls, there are hand and footholds in the wall itself.
Oh, you guys could climb down.
You said
Okay.
there were cranes?
Yes.
Okay. Were they just regular size?
Giant.
Giant cranes.
Yes.
Okay.
Think roughly the size of pterodactyls.
Ooh.
Massive
Okay.
cranes.
And did they fly by us?
They flew just above the level of the mist, so if you're watching him go down,
Okay.
you would have seen them skimming that surface.
So,
Dark shadows floating above the mist.
Nikkei, Solstice, you can climb down with him on your back without too much trouble, yes?
Of course.
I don't know how you are with climbing out of character. There's plenty of animals with climbing speeds.
No,
that
I
you have
know.
access
I've
to.
also got something else in mind too.
Okay.
So.
And then I can just do my best and you can fly. Should we get off of this dead end road?
Yeah. Yeah, time seems to be of the essence.
Tie a little rope around you. Tie you to me. Should we anchor to me as well? You said you were going to try your best.
I have spent plenty of time climbing things. Thank you.
Okay. Just double checking.
Climbed you like a tree every night.
Oh my word. Oh, goodness me.
Sorry.
Best kind of
All right.
Can I as he's going down, fly next to him and maybe give him an advantage on a check because I'm pointing out footholds and stuff for him?
Yeah.
You want me to roll athletics?
Yes, please. Whoever is climbing down his roll athletics.
As I'm climbing on top of you, Solstice, and securing myself, I'm shuffling my tarot deck, and I'm telling you, thank you so much for offering to help me get down. I don't know if I would fare very well as I'm looking over the edge, but you're gonna do excellent. I know you are, and it's bardic inspiration.
Awesome. Is that the D4?
It's a D6 already.
Nice. And I have advantage from...
No, I got the advantage.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It is a D6.
Got really excited about it. Man. Okay, so 9. Good lord.
All right.
Every roll I've rolled tonight has been under 10. I can't believe that.
Oh no.
Wow.
Can I have the athletics from
18.
the rest of you that are climbing? Okay, 18.
And you're on her back though, so you're not climbing. I was gonna kind of wait until everybody started going down.
Okay.
And I'm going to wild shape into a giant spider.
Ooh.
Awesome. Okay, so as you're going down, Solstice, you realize as you're starting to climb that it's wet. Like the sides of this wall are wet from this mist constantly going up and down, and there's moss that covers the insides of all of these hidden footholds. And you start to lose your footing, and to your right, as your life partner of now the same species, begins to climb with you, and you slip. He's able to grab your hand just in time to place it back into a hold.
Lovely.
So that you can maintain your grip.
Maybe I should be tied to you.
Well, let's not do that again. Shall we?
I'm doing my best.
Making your way further, it takes about 15 minutes to climb from where you were to where the first mushroom stands. A large spider making its way over the side above you and climbing.
Jeltra, I don't mean to be rude, but that is horrifying.
It's very handy.
If you could stop talking, that would be much preferred until you're back into your normal face.
Spiders are an essential part of the ecosystem.
Yes, but I've never had to listen to one talk before, and I'm trying to cling to a wet wall.
And I'll just keep climbing down.
It's true, Jeltra. You could have warned us.
No, that's our friend. That's not a giant spider. It's our friend.
Dropping onto the first puffball, which is this grayish navy blue. When you hit it with your weight, a sea of spores are released from the base of it, matching the color of the cap as they rain down, speckling the mushrooms below it. From here, it is easy to slide from one mushroom to the next as they sort of fan out, getting bigger and bigger towards the bottom. Clearly the highest of them, the smallest.
I untie you so you can bounce down.
As you bounce between each of them, every time that you hit one, releasing another one of those shower of spores below in a corresponding color, you finally drop below the mist, vision of what is around you being heavily obscured. Reaching the bottom as the first of you bounces off the last one and lands on their feet, there's this crying screech of a caw as you land close to one of those giant cranes, and it flaps and immediately takes flight to get away from the intruder up into the mists. Sticky.
Jeltra, don't eat it.
Well, it's a giant one, right? So I'm worried that it's going to come after me. It's going to eat me. And I also have this mental image of a spider jumping on these mushroom kids.
The only person that doesn't send spores flying as the spider's weight's distributed nicely between the 8 legs. Sticky mud squelches beneath your feet.
Picking up my feet.
My boots.
Tangled mangroves grow out of pools of rippling water, half hidden by the thick fog, and mushrooms clinging to rotting logs and stumps scattered throughout the marsh. Crickets that glow like fireflies chirp serenely before they're snatched out of the air by the tongues of hungry frogs.
It's a weird
the
design.
swamp is alive with life.
My swarm was taking the form of the crickets, and then it saw the frogs, and they just turned back into gnats and like settle around close to me.
Evolutionarily, that should not have happened. Why would they evolve to be easier to eat?
Maybe the frogs are blind.
Oh. We'll have to find out.
Coming from one... Oh, good.
I throw a rock at a frog. No, I don't. No, I don't. I just roll it by it to see if it responds.
The frog sits there, completely ignores the rock, and then goes... "Rawr." And the tongue slaps out and grabs the rock and puts it into the frog's mouth. And then you hear this... as it shoots the rock back out, and it skips across some of the shallow waters.
I don't think that was a conclusive test.
Unless it's the sound of the rock rolling that it heard.
Exactly, it's inconclusive.
How big was the frog again?
That frog was about yay big.
So I start walking towards it.
Don't eat that either, Joshua. Joshua, just turn back into a person.
No.
Coming from one direction are several voices, joined in a marching song. The singing grows louder as 6 bipedal rabbits wearing clothing emerge from the fog. 2 of them tug at the reins of a giant snail, and the others carry clubs and slings.
I push Nicaid to the front.
You hear from through the mist, "With sticks and stones we'll break your nose, we'll beat you blind and steal your clothes," as it continues on through. This is several stanzas of music that I'm not going to make you listen through.
I want to hear all of them.
I know exactly what we're asking for an after party today.
But none among us can compare to one wily, swift, and stand-up hare. Scarfs that's glorious, thieves notorious, his deeds are truly meritorious. With a wink and a grin, he'll show you his cunning. A flash of his scarf, he'll take off running. Quick as a bolt, his long scarf trailing. Grasping, you'll end up flailing. You'll pout, you'll moan, you'll huff, you'll sneer. Thanks to Agadon Longscarf, brigand prince of Prismere.
I mean, right now our Harengon has a really long scarf.
That's what I was thinking.
You do! That was great timing. It was total accident. 4 of them have weapons drawn as they approach. The other 2 browbeat their pack animal.
Do they see us? They're approaching us? Or?
They are approaching you.
I'm not exactly subtly dressed.
So okay. We pushed Cade to the front. Hello! Greetings. We hope we don't mean to break any rules. I don't know.
As you
Before they get to us, or as they're approaching, I want to... Are we still close to the bridge, the causeway?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to kind of back up underneath it just a little bit, so I'm trying to be hidden, so they're not seeing me.
Roll stealth.
Oh, shoot. As a flippin' spider.
Would it be possible for Cody to also kind of like slip behind Solstice and then get behind cover as well, just in case things go wrong?
Go ahead and roll stealth.
Okay, so...
The fog is helping a little bit, so...
So I get advantage?
No, that's just why you're able to roll a period.
I didn't do a good job.
19?
Okay.
Brigand, do you know anything about this brigand prince?
As they approach and you hail them, they stop. And seeing that there's not immediate violence, one of them raises her hand to the others, introducing herself. I am Jebek, and this is a robbery. If you resist, we'll beat you black and blue.
Counter offer.
I'm already kind of blue. Does that...
And with not being able to contain myself. And also, most bruises are purple and yellow. I only got a 6 on my stealth. So that's why I decided that I'm like behind a tree and I'm like, most bruises are yellow and purple.
Counter offer. We exchange pleasant conversation and part ways amicably.
Love that. That is the best thing ever.
Clearly, have never been robbed before. That is not how robberies work.
Alright, so dart to her.
Diplomacy, come on!
If I may,
I will
one
stop
hair-
as Nickade talks.
From one hair to another, won't you let us pass fair?
We too are fans of your brigand prince.
Roll persuasion, both of you.
Okay, wonderful. And in fact, I forgot about that nat 20 again earlier too, so now I just feel whiny. What is it? Persuasion?
Persuasion?
I got a 21.
Nice.
I got a 12.
She looks you up and down.
It's a robbery.
Had the big one not spoken, I would have started with you. You know of Agadon.
I've heard some rumors. He sounds amazing.
Then you know what we're after.
It's alright, Cody
Yes,
has a really hard
yes.
time when people lie around him.
Bees.
Yes, his famed treasure. Right?
I know of Longscarf as well. As I gesture to the
Long scarf you're wearing.
the handkerchiefs that were all tied around.
I model myself after him.
Clearly a pretender. And she
A
reaches...
tributor.
Tribute. Yes.
Attributor or a tributor?
A tributor.
Like a river.
What's the phrase? Greatest form of flattery.
Imitation is the greatest form.
Imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
And fortune favors the bold.
I still think I'm him, by the way.
Stealing the image of one so powerful and fearsome will not get you off the hook. And she pulls a gourd that she wears on a sling out from her side. I demand from you, your offer, the feeling of delight that you remember when you were given the best gift you had ever received. And she opens up the gourd.
You'll lose your memories of Teddy Berry.
You must touch it.
Oh,
That's a high cost.
I'd rather not. I
Nickade.
don't like to touch
I was like,
things. My best memory.
Of a gift that you were given that you still not received.
I don't usually get gifts. I don't usually get gifts.
Are we gonna hurt them? What's going on?
She just gets this look of... Oh, if you received something at some point in time.
Ooh, friendship.
Voluntarily touch the gourd.
I take one of the handkerchiefs and I put my paw inside the handkerchief and wear it like a glove, and then I reach it out.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity.
please attack her.
You don't even want to try and get out of some of this diplomatically?
This woman is robbing us.
Hold on. Hold on. 17.
17?
17.
As you reach forward like that, she makes a motion to try and swipe that off of you, and as she does so, her own hand connects with the gourd, and you see this like light getting sucked from her mouth and filling into the gourd as this look of delight comes across her face, experiencing the memory once more before it is gone and the stopper on the gourd replaces itself.
Well,
You did that on purpose.
Attack.
Hold on. I did not. I thought where words might fail, we might have to flail, and that's me trying to cast vicious mockery at her at this point.
Okay, go ahead and yeah, she needs to have a save there, I assume.
Yes.
All right.
Great. Our first kills are gonna be bunnies.
Yeah,
Bunny's trying to rob us!
That's a wisdom save.
it's a wisdom save, yeah, and I'm not happy about it. Okay.
Does a 9 make it?
It does not.
Okay, so go ahead and roll damage for that one.
What did I say? Where if our words fail, we might have to flail.
Yes.
Is that like a
It's
code
like-
phrase for me to attack?
I like to think that like imaginary flails just go like.
If anyone, since everyone's behind me, you see my tail is now ruffled, and it's 2 psychic damage.
Okay, so
And she now has disadvantage on her next attack
I
roll.
believe so. Her
Yes.
I know Vicious Mockery does something other than damage.
next, she gets disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn. Yeah.
all right. With that in mind, roll initiative.
Aw.
22.
Everybody's first combat.
All right, so that is for Percy.
9. Oh, Percy. Sorry, that's not me.
9 for
God.
Solstice.
Is it my initiative or the giant spider? I have my.
If you're still a giant spider,
I'm
then
still
you're
a
the giant spider. Yeah.
Okay. Which is what do I add to
Dex
my
mod.
Dex, thank you.
13.
15.
So Herringons get to add their proficiency bonus on top of their dex mod to initiative. So I'm at a 24.
Nice.
Bless you.
Hey. All right, so
Oh, wait,
we now got
it's-
Percy.
I'm
in
allergic
second
to you
place.
having good rolls.
Apparently.
All right, and that means that Cade is going to start us off.
What does she look like as the psychic damage takes effect?
As she was still seething from having her own memory stolen when she was planning to rob you, that feeling hits her, and through the fur you can see this blush of almost embarrassment, and the grass around her feet, sopping with water, turns black in a foot radius around her as your spell takes effect.
With that, I'm going to be holding the tarot cards and just kind of set them to the side like this and go, attacking another Herringon. It feels wrong, but it's almost funny. I don't like that. And then I'm going to just point at her and cast Hideous Laughter.
Okay, and that'll be a wisdom save as well?
Yes.
17.
That passes.
Okay. Anything else?
Does anything happen if they pass? No. I would also,
What does it look like when you cast Hideous Laughter?
as I'm turning to the tarot deck and I'm saying, isn't that funny? And I point, some bluish kind of, not light, but like, the light kind of changes around and it like goes, but I assume just misses or doesn't
It
take effect.
So it hits her,
Okay.
and she goes, "That's not going to work."
And then curl my paw finger back and ooh. And then I can cast Bardic Inspiration as a bonus action, correct? Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I'm going to, you know who's been oddly quiet? Cody, I could use your assistance. And I'm sure hearing that Cody is needed, that would be Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. Then from there, we are down to the brigands.
Heron gotta have such good
Because they are also Heron.
What is their bonus? Oh, never mind.
A
I
lot.
won't. Okay.
From
Never
there,
mind.
2 of the brigands turn and try and get the snail to run away. Well, the other 2 and Jebek, who is now hurling insults at the 2 running away, decide to attack. So Jebek is going to come up to you first as the primary aggressor in her mind. Her white, bright fur and bright pink nose, vaguely familiar, as the bottom of her legs are just matted with the mud of the swamp. And she goes ahead.
Oh no.
And does a 20 hit?
Is this the girl from the snail races?
Does a 20 hit?
Yeah.
4 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
The next one goes after Cody. Does a 13 hit?
No, actually.
Misses as he swings and his foot slips into the mud and he almost loses his balance entirely but manages to catch it and try and look menacing, although he is the smallest of the bunch. The next one goes after Solstice but is standing too far away, so he uses a sling, does a 24 hit.
Yes.
Okay, so that'll be 7 bludgeoning damage from
From
the
a
sling. As it
Nice.
swings it over its head and launches it at you. And the final one still standing here.
Use my stone's endurance on that. Oh wait, 7. Yeah, fine. No, I'm gonna hold on. Sorry, go ahead.
Percy does a 23 hit you.
Oh!
That'll be a 5 bludgeoning damage as the second sling goes off, whistling through the air, displacing the fog right after the first and hitting you.
Ow!
Yikes.
And that will bring us from them to you, Percy.
You said 5, right?
How many are there? 3.
So there were 6 to start,
6 to start.
and 2 tried to run away now. So they are making their exit, trying to drag the snail, who is resisting them.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sorry. How close are they?
So there, with the way that you are standing, there's. I apologize that this one is theater of the mind. One of them is directly in front of. I keep wanting to say your actual name, Cade. One is directly in front of Cody, and then 2 are standing about 15 feet behind them that use the slings to try and attack you. So you all would be like 10 feet away from the 2 that are directly in front because you have a person between you.
Okay. That's not very nice. And I'm gonna pull out my crossbow and shoot them.
Okay, go ahead and roll for attack. Which one are you aiming at?
The one of the sling ones.
Okay, we'll go with the sling one that attacked you.
Okay. That's a 16 to hit.
Hits.
4 piercing damage.
Ooh. Yeah, it does not look great already.
Oh shit!
These brigands seem to be not expecting the fight that they've received. Anything else on your turn?
No.
All right. From there, we are down from Percy to a giant spider.
I was like, giant spider, what? Oh god. We're fine.
How far am I from the leader?
From the leader, you're going to be about 20 feet from the leader as you were standing, hiding in the darkness.
Okay, so I want to use my web attack to try and restrain her. May I?
Go ahead. Oh, you're asking?
Yeah, I was asking
yeah,
to
do
use
it. Go have at it.
Oh! Well, that ended up, that's a 15, right?
Yeah,
okay.
is.
Plus
That's
5.
also technically cocked, but...
Well, I can re-roll it if you prefer.
No. It was 15, I saw it.
Like, if you want me to, that's fine. I can re-roll it.
15 would hit.
Okay. Actually, that would be a dirty 20 to hit. It just landed on a 15 there, so.
That'll hit.
Yay! Okay, and so target is restrained by webbing, and as an action, they can make a DC 12 strength check to burst out of the webbing.
Okay.
So they are now restrained. As I move forward and come out behind you guys as this big giant spider, like, on your side.
The Harengon all look over, and you see the first one with the sling that attached Solstice start to shake a little bit.
I'm going to pretend like I'm giving the spider instructions. She's like, yes, get them, Jeltra! So it's clear that the spider is on our side.
The other Harengon that launched the sling at Percy turns to the first one and just goes, "They named it!" And from there we are down to Cody.
Alright, so I'm going to, so I can use ranged attacks, I'm going to provoke an attack of opportunity and move away from the one that was within melee of me, or was he a slaying user?
Say one more time.
So there's one within melee range of me, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to move away from him.
Okay, so attack of opportunity?
Yeah, he would get one, technically.
Does 8 hit?
No.
Okay.
Alright, and then I have Bardic Inspiration. I'm going to attack the leader so that I have advantage because she's restrained. And then I'm also going to use my sharpshooter feat because it's so rare that you get advantage with ranged weapons. Alright, so that's a 22.
That'll hit.
Hang on. Plus 6, 28, minus 5, 23.
That'll hit.
Alright, so she then... And I'm also going to favored foe Hunter's Mark her. Okay? Which uses one of my uses, but I'll do that in a second. Alright, so that's... 17.
Damage?
Yeah. And then an extra 2 for 19.
She's dead. You hit her like straight between the eyes, and you see them fly open before the pupils dilate, and they fade and close. Anything else?
Yeah, bonus action attack against the one...
Was the Hunter's Mark not a bonus action?
Hunter's Mark is part of the attack. It's a ranger feature, specifically. It's not the spell.
Okay.
That's why it only does an additional d4 as opposed to the d6.
Got it.
Bonus action, I'm going to throw one at the one that attacked Solstice now, but this is just going to be a normal throw. So 18 plus 5, 23.
Hits.
For 9.
That one passes out. Hits the mud with a wet splat. And back to Solstice.
What did all that look like?
So
Yeah, please
he
have at it.
rolls around the tree, sort of the trees in between him and the other Herringon, and he literally just goes, hits that one right in the leader right between the eyes, and then turns to Solstice's and again just flicks out his arm because they're thin metal needles is what he throws. Throws that one, and I'm assuming that one gets it in the neck, and it's just kind of like, and then falls over.
Because I was face to face with the one, did it like go between my ears or something?
I mean, it was a amazing sharp shot, so it could do that. Yeah. We could even say that maybe there's like a little hole in your ear that it went through.
Like you missed once. And then I'm... What did I say
sharpshooter,
about
if
that?
I give up 5 of my attack roll, it does an extra 10 damage. So
I was wondering where the -5 came from.
yeah.
That's disgusting and cool at the same time.
From there, we were on to Solstice.
Look what you've made us do! Get out of here! And no one else has to die. And I will ready an attack with my glaive, whichever one is closest. If any of them make another. In fact, it's got a 10-foot reach, so if I can position myself into a way to where if any of them make another aggressive move at us, my readied attack will hit that one.
You got it. They all look horrified. From there, we're back to Kate.
I'm going to... How far are you from me right now? You restrained the one that was right in front of me, right?
Yeah, so I was behind the farthest back, like whoever was farthest back. So I was trying to like be behind you guys as a show of support. And then Coulter had said that she was 20 feet.
So if you didn't move forward, you'd still be 15 feet behind.
Yeah.
Okay, you're 15 feet behind me?
Roughly.
I'm going to turn and run up to you, and then I'm going to just... And then I jump on top of the giant spider, and I proudly sit tall. And what's the...
How big are you as a giant spider?
It says I'm a large beast.
No, so one of us could have ridden you down.
I'm going to sit tall on the giant spider, put my hands on my hips, and I'm going to shout, "This is your last chance. Heed our warning, or be put in the ground before morning."
I'm gonna let 2 more darts snick into my hands, looking at the one who attacked me.
As it comes back to their turn, all of the remaining Heron flee, running dash to get away, using their jump actions to get an extra 30 feet as they pull the herringons that are still trying to coax the snail into motion away from it, and the snail veers off the path and just begins to wander into the depths of the swamp.
I still have one in range.
No, but maybe we should try and get that snail.
From there, we're on to Percy.
Where will it even go?
It's your call. I don't really care.
I'd prefer if we didn't hurt them as much as possible.
I call the gourd.
I start jogging after the snail. Oh, I guess not my turn, but...
I'll play a crossbow away.
Okay.
And I guess search them?
Okay, is anybody else in the lineup going to pursue or attack?
I'm going for the snail, just to try and get it
Okay.
back to us.
Oh, is the snail alone?
Yeah, because they when they fled, the snail wasn't going with them, so they
How
pulled the
far
people
away is
off
the
of it.
snail?
Right now, it's about 25 feet away from you. The herringon, if you were standing here, the herringon ran that way, and the snail veered off this way.
I'm gonna try and web the snail just to stop him.
Okay.
Well, hold, before you do that, maybe I'll try to make friends with it. Whoa, snail.
Okay, you are out of initiative. Go ahead and roll animal handling.
Okay,
I grabbed the gourd.
come on.
I mean, I said I was investigating first, so.
But I called the gourd immediately.
Just fucking mad. I don't want it.
Percy's small and fast.
I'm not going for it.
I said we'll resolve investigation after the...
8.
As you try and get the snail to stop, it doesn't even seem to register what you're doing, and just continues on its little, like,
Alright, web away.
as it walks into the mud.
Okay. I'll shoot some web at it just to try and hold it and stop it from moving.
And that's going to be a...
Attack roll on her part.
Yeah. I don't want to hurt it though. I just
The
want
web don't do any damage, does it?
No, it just restrains them. 18 plus 5, 23.
That'll hit, yeah.
Yay.
So as you do that, it does not matter for web that it is large, correct? Medium or large are both fine with that?
It doesn't say anything about
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So yeah, web goes around it, pins it into the ground, and you can see that it's still trying to just, like, the sides of its folds are still rippling
Trying to move.
as it's trying to push, and it's just straining against the web back and forth as it gets pulled into the same place. And with the snail maintained, getting investigation checks from both of the people looking over the bodies.
I'm only after the gourd.
Maybe snails eat. What can I
It's a
feed
good
this snail?
question. We're already getting pets. We've just gotten here.
15.
Also 15, ironically.
So both of you together reach down, and a small hand and a medium hand hit the gourd at the same
Oh,
time.
I'm not even going for it.
Okay.
And to be clear, I do wear gloves all the time.
As that happens, you allow Cody to take it.
I don't even want to go for
No,
it.
it's okay. You allow Cody to take it. You find a club and a sling on her, as well as a satchel that has various oddities. There's a small wooden figurine of a snail. There is a little drawing of a hare with a long red scarf. There's a snippet of red fabric. And 2 buttons.
Why are buttons in Fae like a thing?
You know, I have no idea.
I mean, didn't...
Technically, the monkey isn't. I mean, I would have used his name, but I just can't remember it. Isn't Fae. It's just...
But I mean, he's Fae related. These aren't Fae either, but they kind of... Didn't... I wonder if... Didn't the Mr.s say something about, like, presents and stuff? I wonder if these are, like, trade items.
They were probably stolen.
You wanted me to kill her, right?
She wasn't going to let us pass.
I'm just saying, you said Cody help, and
I did say that, yeah.
Are you doing anything with the gourd?
I mean, I'm assuming I'll have to attune to it or something, but I'm definitely, my thoughts are on the gourd and how it works.
Give me 11 minutes and I can identify it.
Sure. I don't mind. I mean, we have to get our bearings anyway.
Didn't someone take a lot of damage? Who took?
I think we all did.
You know,
I
you're
took 7.
fucking paladin. You're probably fine.
I'm not dead yet, so there's that. I still got my stone's endurance, so.
I will heal you for 8.
Oh, thank you.
And what are the two of you doing with the giant snail that is now caught in the web?
So,
Maybe you try it?
yeah, I was just going to say.
Sure, I will.
Do you want to try and soothe him? Maybe he will respond better to your.
Ooh, Jeltra, turn into a giant snail and seduce him.
And
Don't do that. That sounds messy.
I apologize about this. This is my fault. I missed this section as I was reading through. You actually get advantage on your animal handling check for having participated in the snail race.
Oh,
So
really?
if you want to roll another animal handling check.
Yes.
Okay, you go for it. It's not working for me.
Okay, so I will drop
The
my.
snail hisses at me. like,
I didn't even know a snail could hiss, and
Sorry,
it did.
thanks.
And don't forget, you get your wild shapes back on a short rest.
Yes.
So.
Thank you. Yeah. So I will drop my form because I assume you're no longer riding. Have you gotten down?
I hadn't gotten down
Okay,
yet,
no.
but if
So I
you-
drop it. I forget.
You jump up and now you're piggybacking him.
Okay.
Or I could just fall into the mud. Whatever
Like
you
you'd
imagine.
always read a check. It's like, did I hold on?
Given the narrative, it kind of sounded like you'd walked over to us anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I drop the form and I will. It's okay. It's okay, buddy. I'll try and talk to him. See if we can.
Now, she
I'll
did
make
not
friends.
participate in the snail race, sadly.
not.
Just regular.
14.
It stops its motion on the sides as it's rolling forward. And with that,
do we need a giant snail right now?
it rolled a 9.
Okay.
So it stops, and one of the eye stalks turns to face you,
It's all right.
and the other eye stalk comes around.
Hi. It's okay. And I'm like petting on the face underneath the eye stuff. It's all right.
The snail starts to give little
Snails.
noises.
I love it.
I mean, according to
Alright.
SpongeBob.
Right? Yeah.
Excellent.
Does it have reins?
Oh, the
or anything?
banger of Gary coming.
They did leave because they got
classic.
pulled away. The leads that they had on it. So there's this leather-looking strap running along this center of the snail that they were using to control it from either side. So there's 2 more long leather straps.
Okay. It's gonna sound odd. Would a snail have saddlebags, and does this one if they did?
It does not.
Okay. You never know.
If nothing else, we can use him as perhaps a bartering tool later on. I don't know how fast. I guess we know how fast they go, but so we could assume this snail will keep up with us, right? Walking next to
It
us.
it has a speed of 10 feet.
So it's slower than us.
Massively slow us down.
So as you're talking and
okay.
it registers that you're kind of with the person that was nice to it, one eye stalk goes over to you and starts to nuzzle your shoulder, and the other one stretches over to Solstice and starts to nudge your shoulder.
I'm glad you're feeling better. Did those Aragon treat you badly?
It's okay. And I'm trying to think if I might have little bits of food in my pack or something.
Rations? You have rations?
I don't know if I want to use a whole ration. I just want to take a little bit of something out and be like,
Do you
it's
have
all
good berry?
right. What was that?
Do you have the spell Goodberry?
No. No.
The judgment. Right now.
What?
I can feel it exactly.
Dare you?
Don't deny it.
I'm just saying, food's gotta be an issue without good marrying.
I know. I can feel it radiating.
Hey, I can create water, so shh.
Can we cast about for something snails eat in this swamp?
So you're still like at the close to the base of that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all the mushrooms around it.
Yeah, I'll grab some mushrooms.
I would sure. Yeah. So
I'll just look around and like grab a piece off. Just hand
it breaks off with another shower of those multicolored spores.
And that doesn't affect us at all? It doesn't... Okay. I just have... Like,
The mushroom's
glitter
trying
in
to
my
have
hair.
sex with you.
Why do you have to go there?
Oh, sorry, I thought it was humorous.
I mean, that is what spores are doing, but...
Well, I can't lie, so...
Well, I'll feed the snail.
Putting your hand, you have to kind of stick your hand into the water, getting the base of it in the mud to actually get to the base of the snail's mouth.
There you go.
And there's a sort of tickly sensation as that slimy edge of the snail comes forward, still kind of undulating as it gets into your hand.
Yep.
And there's not a feel of a mouth, but you do feel the mushroom kind of sucked away from your hand as the undulating folds move it backwards out of sight to
there you go.
be
there we
digested.
go. Its name should be Puffball.
I was thinking nickel and slimed. I got one! I did one!
That was really good.
That was perfect with the proximity of the unicorn puzzle. That's like love it.
Nice.
In the time that this happened, can I have virtually cast Identify on this gourd thing?
Yes. So it is not a titled magical item. It is a gourd of memories, and basically it takes a memory voluntarily given to it through touch only when the stopper is removed. If you open the stopper without it being held by the person it is attuned to, it will release everything that it holds.
Oh, we should just release? Oh, no.
But if you are attuned to it and you remove the stopper, you can keep things inside, or you can choose for them to be released.
Is there a point to it other than taking things from people?
It stores memories.
Okay.
It takes
So I'm
them
assuming there's some way to give them to people, right?
Like, yeah, can you retrieve them?
So from the Identify spell, you would know that by either choosing to release them or by being a not attuned person and opening the stopper, all of the memories inside of it will be released back to where they originated.
Nice.
They'll go back to the person they were taken from.
But I couldn't, give someone one of these memories. Well, why did she... I mean, the reason I wanted the gourd is because I assumed that was some kind of currency here.
Well, I think it is. It's the currency of, they were talking about gifts. Like, if a gift is given, like, a gift has to be... Or were you talking about that?
No, it wasn't me.
Someone was talking about, like, if a gift is given...
Wasn't that
or
Mr.
a gift is received, then a gift must be given.
Mm.
So, like, maybe that's what people do here, is, like, if you're going to trade something, like, that could be some form of trade that, like...
But I have no way of giving someone one of these memories.
No, but, like, if you have something that they want, like, if you want to give someone one of your darts, or you want to make them pay for a dart, then instead of having money, they, like, give you a memory. And, like, obviously, you determine the wealth that it's worth based on the memory. So, like, you wouldn't give someone, like, 100 gold pieces for a memory of, like, you know, something stupid. It would be something like, you know, the smell of your parents or something that's, like, nostalgic.
While I feel like having the gourd itself might be of value to someone, I don't think we need any of the memories inside if we can't use them to barter with, and I will uncork it.
As you uncork it, gold light comes shooting out almost like fast fireflies with a trailing tail, and they flit off in all directions, going up through the mist, some staying low to the ground as if they have a direction that they're heading, others just flitting off in a wayward manner. There are 30, 40, 50, it's hard to catch all of the memories that are leaving, but within a few seconds all of them have buzzed out of sight, and the light of that golden joy recedes as the gourd now looks a little bit more muted.
I mean, you also could use it as like a good thing. Like if someone's suffered something horrible that they don't want to remember anymore, you could take that from them to help.
It's not a terrible thing to have. I just
No.
wish there was some way it could have benefited us. And
I
then
think
I
that-
will
It might still.
I think that benefits everybody else.
I will kneel down to the one that I ended her life. I will close her eyes, and I will say in Sylvan, hopefully in the next life you make better choices.
I stand behind
I
you.
killed you, but it's still your fault.
I stand behind you. I say, peace be with you.
As you give that eulogy of sorts, the grass, though wet in an outline around the form, seems to become brittle.
Alright, what's with the grass? You seem to have some kind of magical power.
Huh? I'm just petting.
The
Or
snail?
nature.
Yeah.
Are you a were-spider?
No.
Do those exist?
She
Like-
seemed pretty aware before.
I'm just saying, it's not often that a companion of yours turns into a giant spider and shoots webs at people.
Well, it was something that my mother was able to do, and she was teaching me how to get in tune with other animals and maybe take on their forms if needed. And so, yeah, that's something that I was learning.
It seems a good omen.
Are you able to work nature's magic as well?
Well, I mean, some, not a ton. I don't know about the grass. Do you know about the grass? And I look at this now. Doesn't know either.
You speak snail?
Actually, hold on. I do have speak with animals that I could cast as a ritual.
That would take 10 minutes.
Well,
I mean, I guess we did just take 10 minutes for you to identify.
but that was while I was feeding the snail, so it would be another 10 minutes.
Nature rituals
I mean,
could have been communing
Yeah.
with it. So you do speak snail, and you know that the purr meant that it doesn't know about the grass.
Well, let me ask again. Hold on. Because I'd like to. Fine, I'll cast. I just give me a minute to connect with our snail friend here, and I will cast Speak with Animals as a ritual.
Okay.
And so, how are you doing?
Much better, I think. You speak.
I do.
I thought all the bipeds were languageless and horrid.
Well,
All y'all bitches are illiterate.
that's what that translates to. Well, I don't know about everyone, but this is something that I learned so that I could be in. Am I speaking in snail?
No, what do they hear outside of this?
I probably a lot of purring and maybe a little bit of like, you know, when you're like, yeah, wet sounds that you make in your mouth.
And you put your hands up here to do the ice stocks.
You're doing this.
Essential body language.
Yeah.
In turn, this snail is much more animated than it was
Good.
before.
No, I don't think everyone can do this, but I try to be able to connect with others.
As it watches you with one eye, the other seems to be locked on Cade.
Oh, he's not gonna hurt you.
You say that now, but the furry ones cannot be trusted.
And I'll look at Cade. In common, I'll say, go get some of the mushroom and feed it to the snail so he trusts you.
Okay.
What's your name?
Name?
What do others call you?
Others do not call me.
Oh, that makes sense if nobody speaks to you. That's really sad. Would you like a name?
What use?
Well, my name's Jeltra, so I'll at least let you know that. This is Cade. Are you bringing...
Yeah,
Just
as I'm
imagining.
walking back.
Up, down,
Yeah.
up, down. Jeltra!
Yep.
I just hear that and I go, yes?
Name is Jeltra.
No, that's my name. Okay, great.
Eye back on the Heron God.
Who's bringing mushroom?
Follows you forward as you come around.
As a sign of peace and goodwill, he would like to give you this mushroom.
Jeltra likes mushroom.
I just hear,
It starts to move slowly towards you and slimes up the tips of your fingers until it covers the entirety of your hands, this time coming almost all the way up your forearms as the mushroom is removed from your hands and pulled backwards into what you may not see.
You're a little
You
slimy.
hear, as you pull your hands out, there's a strong
Jeltra likes this fuzzy one.
This fuzzy one is nice.
Nice. Food. Nice.
What's happening with the grass around the bad fuzzy one? I have not seen that before. Forget I keep
This is just me trying to give an indication of what she's looking at.
Sure.
It is grass.
Does it always go black when something dies around it?
Were you mean to it?
Were you mean to the grass?
No.
You killed something on top of it.
Usually
you think
that's
that
seen
would
as
offend?
a good thing for grass.
We fed the grass.
I did say something mean to the Haragon.
They said something mean to the fuzzy one, but not the grass.
Yeah. Mean.
I will apologize to the grass.
Okay.
Roll a persuasion check.
You gotta persuade the grass.
Grass.
what is that? We just hear the snail sounds and then, were you mean to the grass?
Right.
Nat 20, 22.
As you give this very sincere apology, not
I can
having
only be
intended to hurt the grass around that creature that was attacking you, you see the brittleness seem to rehydrate as the grass comes back to where it was before.
And then I'll also say it's into the grass. In the future, if we say or do anything, it's not directed towards you. I promise.
No reaction from...
Alright, I'm talking to grass now.
Well, I'm talking to Jeltra. So,
You named the snail Jeltra?
she named herself.
Jeltra?
I don't know.
That's not going to get confusing.
Thank you so much.
Ask her if she knows Zabilna.
Do you know of anyone named Zabilna?
My name is Sibyl.
I don't think so. She just named herself Zabilna.
Fantastic. We found Zabilna.
I I see the imbalance is quite clear.
It's not.
I'm just sitting down in the grass.
It's mud.
Be nice to the grass.
I thought we were in the grass.
It is very wet. Like there's like a soft layer of water over everything.
Oh.
But you can still sit it.
I'm still gonna sit.
Okay. Well, where are the closest other bipedal towns or groups? Where do they congregate?
Do we know what Zabilla's race is?
Do you know the muffin man?
She's in.
It sort of picks its stalks up, trying to process the question.
It's a bit too complex, I think.
She's a high fae. I think that's what.
Archfey.
It points. There. There. There.
Did everyone see this? Make notes.
Fog.
Fog.
There.
That way. I'll say in common as I'm
Weren't we
pointing it
trying
out.
to save the people in the hot air balloon?
As
Well, that's right.
as the snail continues on, it's clear that she is so there's fog on one side that she called fog.
Right.
Every other direction
There's
she
people.
registers as there.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Snails are not terribly bright.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm learning. Thank you so much, Zabilna, for your help. May I give you one last name? Shelley. May I call you Shelley?
My name. Shelley. Looks
Good, Shelley.
Yeah.
Who's going to tell Jeltra that Shelley will probably die a horrible death?
and there's
Just
as nobody's given it mushrooms in a little bit, there's like a squelchy sound as the flaps begin to move forward ever so slowly away from the group.
That's fine. Let me retcon this a little bit. I would have let Shelley free from the web.
Oh, okay, yeah. I assume she was free from the web
Yes,
and she
yes,
began
yes,
talking.
yes,
I mean, the web is. I mean, we'd have to cut her out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll help with that.
Okay.
All right, as Shelley, formerly known as Sibilna, formerly known as Jeltra, exits through the swamp waters, what is everybody doing?
Trying to find between the
Turning
balloon
to Solstice is like, I mean, it can't. I mean, there's probably predators.
Well, I mean, it seemed like it was unhappy being a pet of the Herringon, so at least now it's free.
Freedom is nice.
whatever happened to that balloon?
Yeah, I'm trying.
I just said, aren't we supposed
yeah.
to be saving the balloon?
Right. So what happened to the? Are we gonna go to the balloon or?
Let's go to the balloon.
We should go find
Go to the
that's
balloon.
the closest other civilization, I guess.
Who has the highest nature to find the balloon?
Well, it was that way, right?
No, I thought it was this way.
Putting it in the exact opposite direction.
Okay,
Pointing
buddy.
at the wall of fog.
Yeah, it was that, right?
I have a +2 to survival. I'm assuming Margaret has better.
I have a +3.
Yeah, if somebody wants to help somebody else, you guys can get advantage.
Yeah.
I'll give you the help action.
Thank you.
And you both have the highest passive perception, so like that also makes sense.
She does.
I
No,
do.
two together, because like
Oh, okay.
15, 14.
Oh, that was awful. Let's try again.
Damn it, dice. We're
Oh,
level
that's
1.
so much better. 22 on survival.
As you figure out your bearings from the base of the swamp to the upper highway that you've been on priorly, you see just peeking out of the fog about a mile away from where you currently are, the tip of what appears to be some sort of tower or something slanted at an odd angle. And that is the direction that the balloon came down.
So there's that. Like, squint and look that way. Do you see the tower? Like the point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure that the balloon went down in that direction, which would make sense because maybe if they got popped by that
Oh, did
tower,
it hit the tower and it poked a hole in the balloon?
it poked a hole. Whoever it was needs to learn to steer their balloon better. I think it's that way, guys.
I think if I were a high fae, I'd probably live in a tower. So, yeah, maybe that's where Zamilla is too.
Yeah.
And just for the record, Coulter, I will retrieve my 2 darts from the dead.
Awesome.
Paragon. I only have 28 of those.
All right, so setting out into the swampland, making your way through the fogs, heading towards the shadow that seems to be the location of the fallen air balloon. You hear the rush of water in the distance, though the land in every direction appears to be flat.
What is...
Is that water?
Rapids? Let's all remember that we're in the Feywild, and as far as I know, nothing makes sense there. I mean, if the carnival was as weird as it was, and it's just adjacent.
What?
We already fought somebody who literally told us that this is a robbery.
Yeah, normally they don't tell you. I mean, I wouldn't think. That's not what they do in the stories.
In the stories, they also don't have such big red dots in the middle of their forehead.
I was thinking of, speaking of stories, the stories that I would have heard as a child learning about the Feywild. Do I know anything about Prismeer? Do I know anything about,
Hither?
Hither specifically? Thank you.
Most of Granny's stories were much more about generalities. It was a lot of like she gave you the rules of accommodation,
Right.
the rules of fair trade, the fact that emotions and emotionally laden actions will affect the world around you, things like that.
Gotcha.
Not so much about
I would
specifics.
have known.
I mean, maybe not hitting it,
Sure. Or at least it might not have come to mind immediately. Okay.
But not about nothing really about a swampland.
Places and... Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't remember anything from being here, right?
No.
Yeah.
You were not in the swamp. You remember forests.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, do we go towards the water and just kind of hope that that's where we need to go?
Well, I mean, it's in that direction.
Water is good.
So far, we've overcome 100% of the challenges thrown before us. So,
All right, we shouldn't get cocky.
I mean, half that challenge ran away, so...
I call that a win.
I'm going to say it's not.
Plenty of darts up my sleeve.
Valid.
Approaching through the mists, in vaguely the same direction as you were intending to go, the sound of water gets louder and louder as your own boots squelch through the mud. And the water level beneath you seems to be slowly and steadily raising, where before the squelch was at your feet, now it's about at your ankles as more and more water is kicked up with every step, until you see a break in the mists where they are higher and thinner. As you enter closer within this break, the sound of that rushing water becoming nearly deafening. In front of you is a 10-foot tall, 5-foot diameter circle of stones with a geyser shooting out of the top of it 100 feet into the air above you, raining mist down in all directions as the water seems to be hitting the ground and flowing out from it.
So we're
And that is where we will end tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. We are super excited to get to the Fae this time.
Yes!
New chapter.
Episode 4, that's quite exciting.
And with that, we would of course love to thank our patrons that help make all this possible. Thank you to Sparky, Dossiman, Daniel, Scott, Rio's mom, Alistair, Sean, Rockelman, and newly Death's Grasp. And with that, a reminder that next week, the Sunday after this video will come. Oh no, actually, that's gonna happen before this video comes out. Well, if you're seeing this live, we're doing a Dread next week on Sunday, and we will keep everybody posted on what D&D will be shifted to after that date. And Dread will be coming out for Halloween this year, a really fun tabletop RPG that is based on Jenga rather than dice. So we are really excited to get into that with Mark as our DM, and we.
I'm bad at Jenga. I'm not
It's
excited
all right.
about it.
That's half the fun. And with that, we will come up with a tagline.
Eventually.
All hail Kingsport forevermore.